I have a huge problem. I broke some spokes on my Super-73 S2. Let's take a closer look. As you can see right here, these spokes have definitely snapped off. This is what the connector should look like, but those have broken off. Now, these aren't the only two. I think I have about 10 that have broken, so I got to get them replaced. So you might be wondering a couple things. One, how did this happen? I wish I could tell you. I may have taken it off one too many jumps, but when I finally noticed it was when I was pulling into my driveway and I just heard a pop. So it must have been a weak one and it snapped and I was able to see it. My tire was all off balance, so I wasn't sure. I did have a friend a couple of weeks ago notice that my tire was kind of wobbly. I don't always ride my Super-73 S2 when we go out on rides. I also have the Talaria Sting, so it's not like I was spending a ton of time on the bike with potentially broken spokes, but we did notice that the back tire was wobbly. The other thing you might be wondering is what I'm going to do about it. If you've been following this channel for a while, you know that I like to dig into things, kind of do things on my own, learn as much as I can about these bikes, but in this instance I feel like this is something that I'm going to need professional help with. And that brings us to today's sponsor, BetterHelp. Just kidding, I don't have a sponsor for today's video. The reason why I am making this video is to give you some guidelines in case this happens, because when this first happened to me I was like, oh no, I'm doomed. I ruined my back tire. It's the tire with the motor. What do I even do? But there's been some resources online, and I even reached out to Super-73 and their support was super helpful in letting me know what I needed to order to get this fixed. So fingers crossed I ordered the right stuff. I'm going to show that to you right now. These are the spokes that I ordered for my rear tire for the Super-73 S2. They're a custom length because, as you already know, there's a hub motor on there, and the radius of that hub motor to the inner rim of the tire is a shorter distance than a regular tire. Now, if you're ordering these for a front tire, then the length of the spokes is going to be a lot longer. Again, all of those measurements are going to be listed down below. I also had to order the nipples to the spokes. This is what attaches the spoke to the rim. Let's take a look at one of these. They have to be a certain gauge, but these screw on to the end of the spokes and then they can be tightened to make the tire true. That's why I'm relying on a bicycle shop in my local area to do this, because they know what they're doing. Now, these spokes and nipples did cost me around $70. That included shipping from Canada. Now, $70 is quite a bit of money, plus whatever it's going to cost for the shop to do the tire rebuild. I don't know what the estimate on that is. I'll definitely tell you. However, Super-73 did send me an Amazon link to some spokes, which I'm sure would be a lot cheaper, especially in the shipping department. But when I clicked that link at the time of making this video, they were out of stock, but I'll be sure to have that link down in the description below. Rather than taking the whole bike into the shop, I'm going to be removing the rear tire. I'll just take that in and we'll take it down there and get it fixed. I got the rear tire removed. I have that cooler as a bike stand. Of course, I'll make sure it's nice and secure before I leave it here for an extended period of time, because I have no idea how long a tire rebuild is going to take. So I'll be sure to keep you all updated on the process. I'm gonna get the tire down to my local bike shop right now, and we'll go from there. Also, if you're wondering what this crazy contraption is, this belt drive, I have a whole video on that, so I'll make sure it's linked at the end of this video. All right, it is Saturday. I finally got my wheel back. I kept on calling it a tire rebuild. The tire is the rubber thing, the wheels, the rim, the spokes, all of that. So I want to set things straight there. The bike shop charged me about $30. They didn't replace all the spokes. They only replaced the broken ones. To replace all the spokes would have been around $50. That's what they quoted me there. But I did notice one concerning thing, and that is they kept my stem cap. And it's not just any old stem cap. It's like this stem cap like I got from the Super-73 event. So I'm definitely gonna have to call them and get it back. Anyway, let's get this wheel reinstalled and get back to some riding. Got everything put back together. The only thing I need to do is adjust the brakes a little bit. I took it for a quick rip. It was rubbing on the rotors there. I'm still super bummed that they kept that cap. I'm gonna have to get that one sorted out. Hopefully they didn't throw it away or something. The purpose of this video is to just encourage you to look over your bike, make sure everything is in check. In fact, as I was adjusting a few things, found out that my seat was a little loose, so I had to tighten that up as well. Okay, I'm on the bike. Want to check out this sunset and make sure everything's nice and tight on the bike. One thing the shop did say though is that there's a taper in the spokes that could create a weak point However, where that taper is into the threaded point is not where my spokes broke. They broke at the little bend into the hub motor. They said that they could redo the wheel with thicker spokes with a bigger gauge, but we'll see how this goes. I have some replacement spokes just in case. I did order all 36. Also trying a new camera and mic setup. This is a multi-purpose video, but man, check out those fall colors. The sunset, can't beat it. This is a good little test ride trail. Everything feels good. My next upgrade on this bike is the brake calipers. I'm swapping them out from a 2-piston caliper, which comes stocked, to a 4-piston by Fast Ace. So stay tuned for that. Looks like I'm not the only one with this idea. Anyway, have a great rest of your day.